Bitmoji classrooms are an engaging, visual, and personalized way to share information and resources with your students. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through 2 ways that you can create your Bitmoji classroom. First will be directly through Google Slides, and the second method will be using Canva in order to create your backgrounds and graphics, and then editing it on Google Slides. So the second way is a bit of a 2-step process. I'm then going to be showing you how you can add hyperlinks and voice notes to your Bitmoji classrooms in order to make them a bit more dynamic. Finally, I'm going to be showing you an example of how I am planning to use my Bitmoji classroom this year in order to introduce my course to my students and to engage them with all the resources and information I will be sharing with them. So the first way is directly through Google Classroom. So you can create your entire Bitmoji classroom and any linking options that you'd like to add on Google Classroom. The second method that I'm going to be showing you, and this is what I did, is using Canva to create all the background images for my Bitmoji classroom. And then from there, I uploaded it to Google Slides. Now, the first thing that you need to make sure you have is you need to have the Bitmoji Chrome extension downloaded, and you need to have a Bitmoji account already set up. So once you go and you download this extension and you log in and create a Bitmoji account, you can then customize your Bitmoji character. And you'll notice that when the extension is downloaded, you can access all the different images of your Bitmoji from here. In order to get images that do not contain these types of texts, which sometimes they're not always appropriate for class purposes, my recommendation is that you search for pose or poses, and this will pose, and this will give you all the images without, or mostly without text. You can also search for specific words such as sitting if you want your character to be sitting. And then you can search for other things such as hey or hello, etc. Okay, and then you can choose whatever character or whatever Bitmoji that you like. Once you have your Chrome extension ready, the next step is designing our actual classroom directly on Google Slides. The first thing we want to do is we want to choose a background that looks like a room or a wall and floor. To do that, we're going to click on background, and then we're going to choose image. And we're going to select Google Image Search. All right. And as you can see, I already have the words floor and wall background. You can write classroom if you want it to be specific, or just floor and wall background. And as you can see, there are so many options available. So once you found your favorite, just click insert. Okay, so now we have the base or the background ready for our classroom. And if you were to create additional slides, you'll notice that you can add different backgrounds to different slides, or you can just copy the same background and repeat the method for your next slide or next room in your virtual classroom. We are now going to be adding furniture. In order to do that, you're going to click on the Explore button down here, and you're going to search for different furniture items. An easy way to find images that already do not have any background, so they have like a transparent background, is to type the word PNG or transparent background with your search. To get images with a transparent background, I usually search for the word that I'm looking for and then the word PNG. And you'll notice that it'll give you options that have a transparent background. Now, if you don't like any of these options and you'd like to widen your horizon in terms of options for pictures that you're choosing from, you can then go to Google and then search for images here. So for example, let's say modern desk. If you happen to find an image without a transparent background, what you can do is you can visit an external website such as remove.bg, and all you have to do is upload the saved image that you just found. So we're going to save this image. And then either upload it or drag it to this website. This will turn your image into a PNG image with a transparent background. And then all we have to do is copy this image and place it into, or paste it into our Bitmoji classroom. So let's continue. So next I'm gonna add a chair, and again, I'm either gonna write transparent background or PNG, and I'm gonna choose one of these chairs right here. Now you can kind of move, rotate your image around and basically place it so that it looks realistic, so it's not like floating into the wall. So once the desk and chair are ready, I'm going to find a Bitmoji of myself, and remember, I can either search for pose or I can search for whatever action I'm trying to get a Bitmoji of. So all you have to do is drag the Bitmoji onto your slide, or you can copy paste it. And then I'm going to format this image. So I'm going to click on format options because I want to flip my Bitmoji. So right here, I'm gonna flip it so that it fits better with the image of the chair. And once I'm done with resizing it and I'm happy with the way it looks like, that is it. You can also do things such as order your pictures. So for example, let's say that I want to, so if I was here, let's say I want to have my image so that I am behind the desk. I don't want to be in front of the desk, okay? So you can do things such as right click, and then you're going to click on order, and you can either send the picture backwards, bring it to the front. So manipulating these types of things might come in handy when you're trying to stack more than one image on top of each other to create a more realistic feel for your virtual classroom. Another way to create your Bitmoji classroom is using the website Canva. Canva has two types of subscriptions, so you can have a free account, and you can also subscribe for a premium or pro account, which will enable you to have more options in terms of features and images and graphics that you can use on the website itself. But to be honest, the free version also has so many options when it comes to pictures and graphics that you can use. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be clicking on photos in the panel on the left side right here, and then I'm going to be searching for let's say wall and floor. And as you can see, it gives you so many options that you can choose from. Some of them are free, and some of them are included only in the pro account. As you can see, there are so many options in terms of different categories that you can filter through. Okay, so once you've chosen your favorite wall and floor and you kind of resize it on the page, next we're going to be adding other features such as furniture. So for example, I'm going to search for chair. Let's say that I found this picture over here, but unfortunately this picture comes with a background. Well, an awesome feature on Canva is that you can remove the background directly from the website itself. Now, I'm not sure if this feature is available for the free membership. If it's not, you can always use other external websites such as background remover. In addition to photos, Canva also offers elements, and these are going to be clip art type pictures and graphics that you can include and you can use. It also includes things like charts, it includes grids, and just so many options, but you'll notice that most of these are going to be clip art type or things like these types of symbols right here. So for example, let's say I wanted to add an extra plant or more decorative elements. You can kind of get this done using the elements options. You can also add text directly onto this slide that you've just created here on Canva, but I'm only going to be creating my background images for my presentations on Canva, and then I'm going to download them and add them onto my Google Slides presentation. To download the images, all you have to do when you're finished, all you have to do is click up here, and you're going to be downloading them as PNG, which is the best, I guess, the highest quality image format that you can select from. And then you can select which pages you want to download, or you can just download all the pages. Once your background images are downloaded from Canva, you're going to go ahead and click on Insert Image. And that's about it. So now you have all the background images pre-created, and all you have to do is add links and add resources directly on to these slides. And I'm going to show you how you can do that next. To add hyperlinks in my Bitmoji classroom, I'm going to select one of the shapes, and I'm going to be creating areas where I will be adding certain things that I want to link the students to. So one of them is going to be my Zoom expectations poster that I've already created. And I'm going to be changing the font, the size, and just the general format of this button. I'm going to also make sure that the border around the button is a little bit thicker so that it looks like something that is sitting on the shelf over here. And I'm then going to be changing the color or the background color of this button. Now, I've actually added or downloaded an extension for Chrome called Color Picker, which allows me to basically pick colors that match the theme that is already going on in my Google slide or in this Bitmoji classroom, and you'll notice that it gives you the code of that specific color so that everything fits better aesthetically. Once I'm happy with the button, I simply made a copy of it and changed the text, and I'm going to be using the second button and link it to my daily agenda slide. Next, I'm going to be clicking on the box that I want to hyperlink, and I'm going to insert link, and I'm going to paste the link of the poster or the PDF that contains my Zoom expectations. So in present mode, it will look something like this. When the students click on the button, it will take them to the Zoom expectations poster. There we go. In order to add voice recordings to my Bitmoji classroom, I'm going to go ahead and visit the following website. Next, I'm going to be clicking on the red microphone button in order to start recording my message. Now, you might get an alert that asks you to give permission for the website to use the microphone. Go ahead and click allow if that does happen to you. And I'm not sure if this does have a time limit in terms of how long the voice recording can be. For my purposes, I'm just going to be recording small snippets. Once you're done with your voice recording, I'm going to go ahead and click on stop. Next, I'm going to click on Save and Share, and this will give me several options. I can either download the voice note, or I can copy the link and embed it as a hyperlink into my presentation or into my Bitmoji classroom. I'm not going to be using the URL option. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and download my voice recording. Next, I'm going to go into my Google Drive, and I'm going to upload the voice recording that I just downloaded into my drive. Okay, now the voice recording is in my drive. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Insert Audio, and I'm going to choose the voice recording that I just uploaded, and I'm going to insert it into my Bitmoji classroom. So you can place this anywhere you want the students to click on the voice recording. I'm going to place it right next to me. That way the students can see it and they can play it. Now, there are a few options in terms of how you would like to play the audio. You can either have it on click, meaning that it will play when the students click on this icon, or you can select automatically, which means that when the students open up the slide, it will automatically start playing. You could also have it loop, meaning that the sound clip will continuously play on a loop. You can also do other things for the icon itself, such as recoloring it. You can change the color of the icon. You can change the size and the rotation of the icon, and so on and so forth. So let's see how this will look like when the students have my Bitmoji classroom in present mode. So when the students click on the voice recording,
so today I'm going to be showing you this.
Okay, so as you can see, the voice recording plays. This feature has so many uses. You could either have it so that you can add a personalized message for your students on your Bitmoji classroom. You can also integrate it into your Google Slide presentations in order to add narrations. Perhaps you could have yourself reading a book for your students during story time. Perhaps you could have instructions, audio instructions for students that might have a hard time with reading, or special needs students that require audio instructions alongside with written instructions. You could even have students create their own Bitmoji classrooms or their own Bitmoji pages that represent them, and then have them add an audio recording of themselves talking about themselves, presenting about a certain topic, etc. There are really so many things you can do with Bitmoji classrooms, and it doesn't even have to be a classroom. You could have a student design a room for a certain literary character, or you can have them design a room for a certain scientist, or a certain invention, or a certain mathematician. There are so many things that can be done with the concept of Bitmoji classrooms, and embedding things such as hyperlinks and such as audio recordings into your page or into this Bitmoji classroom that we've created, or that you can have students create. So this is my finalized Bitmoji classroom, and I'm just going to walk you through some elements that I've included in here. The first, as you can see, is the Zoom expectations and the daily agenda buttons, and these are not really going to change because for the most part, for every single Zoom session that I have, or every day during my virtual classrooms, I want the students to always go back and refer to our expectations, and they will do that using the poster that I've linked this to. The second button is going to link them to my daily agenda slide, and this is where I will put the agenda for the day. I also like to include expected timing for each of the activities, so the students know how much time they should be dedicating, whether they are learning through a synchronous session or through an asynchronous session. Located on my smartboard, the students will find any resources or activities that I want to link for the day. Here you'll notice that I have linked the Welcome Back or Back to School Stations activity. And if you're interested in how to create an activity similar to this one, and as well as the template for this activity, they are both found on another video that I have in my channel. The video logo is always going to be linked to my lesson videos. Now, since I am using a flipped model this year and I'm conducting both synchronous and asynchronous sessions with my students, I will always have a video lesson for them to watch. And then during the synchronous session, we will work on the practice, and I will, handle any misconception, and we'll also work on collaborative activities. So I want the students to have this video as a resource, and I want to include it on my Bitmoji classroom. Next to me here, we have an audio message, and this will include different things depending on the day. It might include a personalized message by me for the students. It might include audio instructions for a certain activity that the students are going to be working on, or it might include instructions and tips for how the students can actually navigate through my Bitmoji classroom and how they can explore the different elements that are found here. Another great way that you could use this audio feature is to talk about yourself, especially during the first day or the first week of school. Perhaps you could use it to talk about yourself, talk about your hobbies, where you're from, your educational background, and any sort of information you want your students to know about you. You could also have an audio message going over the classroom norms, classroom expectations, and just kind of explaining to the students in your own voice what those mean and how they will look like, sound like, and feel like in your own classroom. Behind me here, we have these inspirational posters, and I'm going to be planning on linking these posters to activities that the students can do. So either they will be mindfulness activities, or they will be things that they can watch, or apps that might be helpful for them to manage their time, become more productive and organized, or even I might include some study tips. So that's where I'm going to be including these types of activities. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more tutorials. I have also included a bunch of free templates of backgrounds that you can use in your own Bitmoji classrooms in the description box below. Have a great day.